Okay, in this video, we're going to learn how to rotate a point 270 degrees counterclockwise. And you can see here that I have a point, it's -3, 4. And we're going to rotate it 270 degrees counterclockwise. So counterclockwise is in this direction. Now, as you go from one quadrant to the next quadrant, that's a 90 degrees rotation. So if I go from this quadrant here and I rotate it to this quadrant, that's a 90 degree rotation. Now if I go from this quadrant here and rotate it to this quadrant, that's another 90 degree rotation. So from here to here is a 90 degree. From here to here, that's another 90 degree. So that's 180 degrees. And from that quadrant to this quadrant is a 270 degree rotation. So we know that when we rotate the point 270 degrees, it's going to be in this quadrant. And here's how you figure out where that point's going to be. You take your numbers, -3 and 4, and you ignore all the negative signs, and you just flip your numbers. So instead of -3 and 4, we're going to have 4 and 3. Again, we just drop that negative. Now we ask ourselves, where do I put that negative sign? Is there a negative sign? Well, look at what quadrant that point's going to be in. It's going to be in this quadrant right here. And we know that this quadrant has a positive x and a positive y. Therefore, this new point, both numbers are going to be positive. And that's how you rotate the point 270 degrees counterclockwise. Now, let me try another point, okay? Let's say we have a point that's down here in this quadrant. And let's say that point is -3, 2. -3, -2. -3, I go left 3, I go down 2. So that point's -3, -2. And I'm going to rotate it 270 degrees counterclockwise. Again, if I move it from here to this quadrant, that's a 90 degree rotation. If I move it from this quadrant to this quadrant, that's another 90 degrees. So from here all the way to this quadrant is 90 plus 90. That's a 180 degree rotation. And if I go from that quadrant to this quadrant, we finally have our 270 degree rotation. So a 270 degree rotation is going to be here, that quadrant, that quadrant, that quadrant. That's counterclockwise. So if you're doing a 270 degrees rotation, you're going 3 quadrants. And look at our points. We have a -3, 2. Again, we ignore the negative signs and we flip the points. So instead of -3, 2, it's going to be 2, 3. Again, just drop the negatives. And now we ask ourselves, where are the negative signs going to be? Well, if I look at this quadrant here, I know the point's going to be in this quadrant. This quadrant has a negative x and a positive y. Therefore, that x has to be negative and the y has to be positive. So that point, if you rotate it 270 degrees, is going to be at these coordinates here. And that's how you rotate a point 270 degrees counterclockwise.